Hey y'all, what's up? I'm Mimi, aka Piscean Seer, and this is one of your daily collective messages. Like, and subscribe if you get anything out of this. Thank you so very much to those of you who do like, subscribe, and comment. It is always and forever going to be loved and appreciated. God, archangels, ancestors, ascended masters, cosmic guides, all beings of the highest and purest white light, only with the best interest of me and the collective at heart. You are always and forever welcome into my readings, okay? Please give my wonderful, fabulous, and amazing Piscean Seer family the best and most accurate information for them at this time. Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to the new subscribers, okay? Welcome back to my beautiful subscribers who are already here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Thank you so very much for coming, and thanks for coming back. So, this is a Hermes message, okay? So I went out with my family, okay? Because my mom and my son had been on TikTok looking at those little like bargain places, where you can go and you buy the stuff like in the box. You don't really they'll open the box for you and stuff and let you check out whatever it is that you want to buy to make sure all the pieces are in it and stuff. But it's just like a whole bunch of random stuff that I guess sort of like fell off the truck, things that like just didn't, I don't know, sell or whatever, and it all ends up there and everything's like $9. So you could spend a lot of time on TikTok buying stuff or going to places or events that you see on TikTok. But also you could be someone who really likes to shop. You could really like surprises, or you could like to buy those like mystery boxes. But that's not the point. The point is I found these magnets stuck to a pole, right? And I love them so much. I feel like they were just for me. I like sit here and like mess with them all the time. I won't do it too much because it's loud. But so that made me write down magnet symbolism, okay? So I also wrote esoteric, so that's what I searched first. I searched magnet esoteric meaning. So it says, in various esoteric and spiritual traditions, the concept of a magnet carries significant symbolism beyond its scientific understanding. So first is attraction and manifestation, okay? Drawing in your desired outcome. So that's what you could be doing at this time. You're drawing in your desired outcomes, very magnetic at this time. It says magnets are often used in rituals and practices to attract positive energies, specific goals, or favorable circumstances into one's life, and that's why I was just like, these are my magnets, because I looked it up right after I found it. I thought it was really great. So, but you're in this very same kind of energy, whether you found some magnets or you have magnets or not. You could also be someone who really likes little magnetic things. You like to play with magnets and things like that, because they have a lot of little you could also be someone who messes with fidget spinners or those little things that you just squeeze. Like, you could be someone who always has to do something with your hands, okay? So it says the symbol of universal attraction, okay? Some traditions view magnets' ability to draw objects as a metaphor for a broader cosmic force of attraction that connects all things, including humans, to their surroundings, So you could be feeling extremely connected to your human life, Or this could be something that is about to happen for you. You could be about to find yourself feeling a lot more comfortable where you are as you attract more of what it is that you've been trying to attract, But magnets can also represent polarity and balance, and it says an interplay of opposites. The attraction and repulsion inherent in magnetism can represent the balancing act between opposing forces within oneself and the universe, So you're totally in balance, totally in alignment with your yin and your yang energies going on within yourself. It says, according to Buy Me a Coffee, similar to concepts like yin and yang. So all that I said according to a website called Buy Me a Coffee, I guess. So it says reconciling dualities, okay? It says understanding this magnetic interplay can help individuals navigate and balance their inner electric, active, and magnetic passive energies, fostering greater harmony and self-awareness, okay? So this is what I feel like Hermes could be working with you on in your energy, Just I feel like Spirit's been revealing a lot of things to you so that you can find that balance, So you can well, the first thing that they really had me focus on when I got into this journey was polarity, okay? Like, this interplay of opposites, and like how in polarity, there's this thing here, right? And so there's black, right? And then there's white, which is the opposite of that. And that's kind of like all polarity is. And there's all these different shades of, white and black and gray in between that. And that's all that polarity really is. And how like every situation that you're in has this level of polarity where you're able to pull it to, like, the more white or the more pure side or the more black side. But most of the time we kind of get stuck in the gray areas, and we have to like deal with the situation from there. I don't want to confuse anyone, but this is just kind of what I'm hearing. And he wanted me to like make a little bit more sense to you. But I mean, if you haven't looked into polarity, I would definitely suggest that you like take the time to study that a little bit. Study all the spiritual laws, okay? They are very, very powerful, and it's kind of like once you know them, once you look into them and you look them up, it's like you receive all these light codes. You receive like an instant upgrade for doing research on certain things because you're making yourself more aware, okay? So that could be what you're focused on: awareness, making yourself more aware of certain things and the way the world works, and just getting much better when it does come to the energies of polarity. So it says spiritual power and transformation, okay, which is talking about connecting to divine energies. Some believe that by aligning with and harnessing the magnetic forces of creation, individuals can enhance their spiritual growth and connect more deeply with divine wisdom, okay? So, I mean, I'm hearing like, if I was you, I would work with the energy of magnets, like you don't necessarily need magnets, but you are able to focus on that magnetism type, to focus on magnets as it is related to the magnetic forces of creation. You know what I mean? And you're able to like not only boost your own magnetism and what you're able to attract, but to enhance your own spiritual growth and connect more deeply with your divine wisdom within yourself as you attract, on purpose. So it's talking about activating your inner potential. The human soul, likened to a magnet, possesses the latent capacity to manifest spiritual powers like unity and attraction through aligned thoughts, words, and actions, So make sure that your words, your thoughts, and your deeds are all aligned with where it is that you want to go and what it is you want to attract, because you attract the things that match the energy that you're naturally in, okay? It says healing and cleansing. Magnets are used in spiritual healing practices to attract positive energy. They balance the body's energy fields and promote well-being. They are also believed to remove negative energies and offer protection from psychic attacks, okay? And he's talking about how, like, in my head, okay, he's talking about how, is it the Lumerians, okay? I think it was the Lumerians. No, it was the Atlanteans, okay? The Atlanteans worked a lot with magnets and crystals, okay? Like they had like this advanced technology that didn't require like all of this pollution and all of these different things, okay? So like there is like a lot of uses for magnetic energy that scientists don't really necessarily understand just yet, but you're able to utilize the energy of a magnet because you're like on a higher level, right? So it says ancient beliefs and practices, okay? It says ancient civilizations held beliefs about the mystical powers of lodestones, naturally magnetized rocks, okay? Utilizing them as a navigational tools and talismans, okay? It says in occult and alchemical traditions, magnets held a unique role in occult practices and alchemy, believed to be the foundation of magnetic alchemy, capable of transmuting metals and revealing the secrets of the universe. And it also has something to do with the Kabbalah. It says that in the Kabbalah, magnetism is connected to the Sephirot, the 10 divine forces through which God interacts with the world, symbolizing the interconnectedness and harmonious function of the universe, okay? And I just love that we're getting all of this from this magnet that I found. I just love how random it be sometimes, okay? It says, in essence, the esoteric meaning of a magnet extends far beyond its scientific properties, encompassing concepts of attraction, manifestation, polarity, spiritual power, and a rich history of mystical beliefs across various traditions, okay? So definitely wanting you to focus on this magnetic energy and just focus on the way that you attract, on the way that you bring in the things that are that you're meant to bring into you, and just knowing that, like, as you attract these things, as you bring these things in, there's also that energy that's kind of like pushing the rest out, right? Because you know, when the magnets are get close together, there's like this resistance, this energy, there's this energy in between the magnets, you know, and you carry this very same kind of energy. Your mind is very magnetic. Whatever you think about, you attract that shit. Whatever you align yourself with, you're attracting more of that to you. So just be very aware of that. But let me look at the symbolism, because sometimes they're different. So it says magnets with their power to attract symbolize a variety of concepts, including connection, attraction, and the power of influence. And look at this picture, okay? With this north and south energy, right? How the energy goes up and it comes down and around. And so, hold on, let me grab my book because this is crazy to me. Okay, so the other day, you know, I was called to read the Sacred Geometry book again, and I've been doing this meditation that I got from the Taurus, okay? I was reading about the Taurus right here, this Sacred Geometry shape, and it kind of has that same shape, you know what I mean? Like if you were to lay it flat, it would come up and around and go back into itself. I seen 1144, right? So it's a three-dimensional shape, okay? It says it's considered important in many spiritual practices. This shape is the way in which the human energy field, also known as the aura, interacts with the physical body, and also the way the magnetic field surrounds the earth. As such, the Taurus represents the natural flow of energy and life, you know, which is so cool. And then it has this meditation where it's so it says, sit comfortably and close your eyes and breathe in. As you breathe in, visualize energy moving up the center of your body, coming out the top of your head like a fountain and going back around to under your feet, right? So with every in-breath, you're breathing that power up, and then you're, you know, allowing that power to flow out around you and back under your feet with the exhale. So you're like... And they've just been having me do this shit for days. And I think it's just so funny how it's all connected to this channel message. So definitely do that meditation. I really like it. It's very relaxing. And it just makes you more aware of your power. And it raises your vibration, baby. So we got the visionary right here at the bottom of this deck. It says... capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. This is what you hold. The capacity to perceive... or to conceive, to perceive and conceive and envision what is not yet conceivable to others, you know. And you have this willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. So I feel like Hermes is saying to take advantage of your natural magnetism and use that shit to help others. Use it to create these big visions and these big things that you want to accomplish in your life, and just know that you have the power to accomplish those things. But how are you seeing their energy? We got the Five of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So it's like you're making this big ass leap at this time, okay? Maybe there is just like this very natural boost coming to your magnetism, or maybe you're going to try those meditation methods and boost that shit up, which is going to cause this big jump, right? So this energy of you coming straight from out the cold and into this beautiful abundant blessings, like this overnight success type of energy, you know? And it's just gorgeous. Yeah, we got the Nine of Wands, and I feel like, you've been through many different shades of situations, bringing me back to this polarity type of energy. I feel like you've been, on the light side of things, on the dark side of things, and in all the situations in between, and you really do have a lot of experience, and you could feel like, tired or battle weary sometimes, but I think that you keep your head up. You're a very positive type of person, and you're really paying a lot of attention to the things that spirit is offering you at this time, and it's just helping you to stand your ground in an amazing way. And with this Knight of Swords, this is what's propelling you forward to this like time of justice. We got the Six of Cups and the Temperance. Yeah, it's like in the past, all of these lessons and all these things that you've been through have really helped you to step fully into this earth angel energy. So it's like now that you're in this energy, like do a little bit more when it comes to your energy and the way that you expand it or the way that you advance it. Get curious, look into the things you're called to look into, because like you see how it all came together right here for this reading, and I was doing all this stuff and not even knowing how it was going to come together. That's just how it be sometimes. So be very curious and just follow your nudges and follow the things that your guides are calling you to do. Okay, but what's going on the outside of them that you want to talk about? We got two right here. So we got the victim, okay? So the light attribute says prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. That's absolutely where you are. And then the shadow attributes is talking about playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. Okay, so a little bit of that could be going on the outside of you. Like just make sure that your boundaries are set. You know what I mean? And then we got the servant. The light attribute says that servants delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. And the shadow attribute is talking about using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life, okay? So there's a little bit of that going on the outside of you. I mean, I really feel like as long as you're delighting in doing whatever it is that you want to do and you're not being a victim yourself, like that, you really don't have anything to worry about. Yeah, we got the Fool right here. We got the Hedonist, and we got the Child Divine, baby. Ooh, we got the Engineer and the Messiah and the Student. Ooh, and God, okay? Like, you got big energy going on with you, okay? Like, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But let's see. What else? So we got the new moon in Cancer, which says relax, and then we got the first quarter moon in Scorpio, which is talking about releasing your big blocks. You could be any of these signs that I say, or you could have them highly aspected in your chart. But I feel like, kind of how I just was like, but I don't think that the victims and the people outside, like I don't think it just really doesn't matter. I think now is an important time for you to just like keep your mind relaxed and focus on releasing your big blocks, on putting a death to things that don't serve you and your energy, so that you can magnetize as much as possible, so that you can pull in more and more positive opportunities and things into your life. But you're already like making this very big jump, like naturally. We got the new moon in Capricorn, okay, which is talking about stepping up and leading, like you are a leader, and you could really, like, I don't want to say you're not a team player, but I think you're someone who kind of likes to work alone. You like to just work things out, work the issue out or whatever is going on, so that you can handle it in the best way for yourself, and you don't have to feel like, kicked in the ass or like you did something wrong whenever things don't turn out exactly how you want them to turn out. And I think that that's just like the natural leader in you. I feel like you would be great when it comes to leading a team, even though you might feel like, you do much better when you're just working alone. But I think that it's more the having to micromanage people and having to come back and check and make sure they did some shit as good as you would do it, but he's saying like that's where picking a great team comes in, like if you you may have to pick a team in the future, because I feel like you're about to come into like some sort of wealth, or about to make some really big business decision, and you're gonna have to fucking employ some people, because you can't do everything. You can't be in 20 places at once, right? So when it does come to picking your team, just make sure that you are like really vetting them, giving them chances and opportunities to prove themselves to you in a positive way, you know, and just recognizing if they're not up to the job, and not being afraid to like fire people or like let people go if that's whatever, if that's something that you have to do, because a good leader also knows when to like, you know, fire somebody and they're not going to just hold on to them out of this energy of attachment. And then we got the last quarter moon in Capricorn, which says leave the past behind, you know. So just know when to leave the past behind, because sometimes holding on to people too long, or trying to work with people too hard, can affect your magnetism at the end of the day, you know, especially if you have people playing victim, or, you know, trying to, you know, use their lack of money as an excuse to not do anything more for themselves. Yeah, we got the new moon in Taurus, okay? And it says know your worth, okay? So continue to know your worth, to know your value, and also to like, it sounds kind of, you know, funny, but know when to separate yourself from people that don't deserve your ass, okay? Because you are amazing, and you just don't really deserve any mistreatment, or to have people around you trying to take advantage of you when you're trying to grow and thrive. Yeah, we got the last quarter moon with Leo, which is talking about lightening up, you know, lighten up, have a little bit more fun with things at this time too, you know, like just keep that smile on your face. Don't let anybody ruin your day or ruin your energy. Try to remain very aware of the fact that nobody can make you feel, okay? You are in complete and total control and in charge of how you feel. So if, you know, you can't be like, oh, that bitch made me mad. Like, no, you made you mad. You let that bitch make you mad. You know what I mean? You let that bitch get you to a point where you let yourself get mad. Like, this is the very energy. The lighter the energy that you can manage to maintain all day. Not to say there's not going to be bad days or irritating times, but the lighter your energy is, the lighter your heart is, the much more attractive you are. What's relax and release your blocks? We got the first quarter moon in Capricorn, which is talking about unleashing your kindest self. A lot of Capricorn energy came out here, okay? Yeah, a lot of earth energy. So you're grounding something very big at this time, and it's okay to just go around being your nice, happy, kind self, you know. Of course, people are like animals, they like monsters sometimes, right? People can be very vicious and very harsh, and they tend to make people who operate out of that heartfelt loving energy feel like, you know, they're not shit, or they're weak, or they're a punk, because they choose to be nice and they choose to smile, because they don't got time to like, you know, fight bitches or throw shade all day. Like, for what? I seen 2222. This is all about unity, all about us coming together. And if you ain't trying to come together and do something where we both can come out shiny in the end, then why the fuck do I need to have you around in my energy? I just don't. Let's release your blocks and step up and lead. We got take inspired action, okay? We're all about taking inspired action around here, okay? This is the full moon in Virgo. So, I mean, I feel like you could be quite the multitasker. You could have a lot of different things going on, a lot of different things that you see yourself having your hands in the future. And Hermes is really just saying, you know, like one thing at a time, and make sure that you keep your route of communication to yourself and to the divine very open, you know. And the best way to do that is to be very light and to operate with that energy of compassion. We got the new moon in Aquarius, which is talking about being open to change. Also, this energy of you, first of all, realizing that you are the star through and through. Beautiful and amazing stars, high energy, you know, high honor, baby, all day. But just remember also that things like change is constant. Like, that's the only thing we know for sure is gonna happen, is that some shit is gonna change and switch up around us. So don't like get that anxious feeling, you know what I mean? Don't be like having your butt cheeks all tight about things changing, okay? Things change. And I mean, you should get very comfortable with that and just start manifesting that every time things change, they change for the better. Anytime I have to, you know, deal with anything or any issue like like put manifestations, attach it to these energies that you're trying to move around, and you'll see that it'll be very effective. We got the full moon in Pisces, okay? Um, which says forgive. There's also this energy of you being very forgiving, okay? It's going to take a lot of forgiveness for you to like really truly move forward and to just have that energy where you feel so carefree and so light, and you're just attracting whatever it is that you want, and trust and believe me when I say that shit can be very hard, but I think that I really like it. It's like, even if I find myself around people that I know don't have my best interest at heart, it's like I'm not in that place where I'm just constantly thinking about it anymore. Like now I can just like chill and enjoy my day. I can walk away, and it's all, and it sounds funny because it's like I used to be like a total control freak, and I still can be like that, okay? Especially when it comes to like my business or things that I want to work out very well. I can be a total control freak, and I'll pay a lot of attention to like every single tiny little detail, and I'll even freak out when it isn't everything that I want it to be. But the biggest and most important thing that I've learned along this journey is to just surrender and to like really go with the flow, right? And it's like my family they kind of force me to learn that lesson sometimes, because if it was up to me, I'd be up at 4 meditating, fucking showered and dressed and recording by 6, but Spirit's always like, that's no fun. We want you to be relaxed. We want you to be enjoying what it is that you're doing. So please, take your time. It's okay if you record at 6 or record at 1, it's still going to be great, so just don't like jump down your throat too much. Reach deep down within you and just release the control, because it's like I really have learned that like now that I'm looser with everything, like shit just seems to flow naturally, and Spirit's been having me do all these meditations and different things focusing on attracting a lot more like, everything is working out for me and money coming in easily type of energy. And I think that everything really has been like working out, and money have been like flying in, okay? Maybe not as much money as I feel, not enough to like to change everything just yet, but definitely me feeling more stable, me being able to get what I need when I need it, paying whatever bills I have, and making sure my kids get what it is that they want when they want it. Like, we eating good every fucking day, and that's all you could really ask for, and then we got attend to the details with the last quarter moon in Virgo, and that's what I was saying when I pulled out the full moon in Virgo. Like, I feel like you tend to the details a lot, and it's like it's not always, that's why they say the devil's in the details, right? Because you tend to get so distracted by the details that you're not seeing the bigger picture, or seeing the amazingness of life, or seeing the things that you really truly can attract. So Hermes wants you to just like not focus on the details so much, release a little bit of that control, and let Spirit handle like some of the details of some of the things, and you'll find that things are working out a lot smoother for you and moving a lot quicker. Yeah, with the 8 of Wands, or the 8 of, what is that? Spades? No, this is the spade. That's like a clover or some shit. But it's the 8 of Wands, okay? Like, with the 8 of Wands, trust in the messages and things that you get, especially when it comes to your big blocks. Answer those calls to relax when you need to relax, and continue to try to be like very nice when you're dealing with people who can be real ignorant and irritating, What's release your blocks, take inspired actions, and step up and lead. We got the 4 of Swords, okay? So your peace of mind, like I've been saying in almost all these readings, is the most important thing at this time to your magnetism and the way that you attract. Like, you need to be empty, like no worries, no fears, no drama, or none of that bullshit. Like, you have the power to block it all out, But I mean, just make sure you're not like blocking important things out, and it's all good. What's step up and lead, open to change and leave the past behind. We got the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, okay? So, I don't know, you might need to open yourself up to changes when it comes to the area of love, But also, of course, this is that masculine and feminine energy, that yin yang type of energy that I was talking about before, you know, like you're a leader all around is the energy that it gives me, you know. You can lead in masculine things, in earthly matters, and you can lead with your heart. You can lead with compassion, and you have like such great qualities about you at this time, you know. And it's like the queen is holding a flower and the king is holding a sword, you know. So it's like you're holding both of these beautiful energies within you, like this beautiful flower power type of energy, you know, where you can fight with lollipops and rainbows, but also I feel like, you know, you bring in like truth, you bring in honor, you come with like chivalry, you know, you're well mannered, you represent yourself very well in this earthly realm, and people really notice that about you. So like, don't be afraid of change, but also don't feel like you got to change it up too much, because you are amazing, okay? In a very lovely energy. Let's leave the past behind, forgive, and know your worth. We got the Six of Pentacles, okay? And this is why you get whatever it is that you want and need to make sure that you survive and thrive, right? And you can get even more if you focus a little bit more, I think, on forgiving and releasing certain things of the past. Let's know your worth and release control and lighten up. We got the Joker in reverse, okay? So, I don't know, maybe there's like some leap of faith you might be a little bit scared to take, you know, maybe some place where you're hesitating. And it's like, question yourself about that hesitation is kind of what I was hearing, you know, like what is it about you that makes you feel like you can't attract any and everything that you ever wanted or needed, you know? Like, I feel like there's a little bit of shadow work that you might need to do when it comes to that. Let me see. I really like these shadow work cards, and I'm feeling I need to pull them out. I knew something was gonna fall down. What's going on with this leap of faith? We got divine juggling. That's what I'm saying. All that multitasking. Okay. It says you need to master different aspects of yourself, both light and dark. But you're making a lot of progress when it does come to your inner harmony and your energies of peace. Yeah, it says relentless craving, addiction to a prison disguised as freedom. It says consumed, eroding, and habits, okay? So I mean, like, just don't let this earth, like, just don't get too consumed by the earth, you know? Like, make sure you take time to, like, enter into the spiritual realm, you know? Like, spend some time there with your guides, sit with your shadow energies. It says sit with your shadows. It's the way to enlightenment, and it's talking about intuition and spirituality. So I feel like they're really trying to help you with some improvements when it comes to making peace, when it comes to facing some of your inner demons and building up better boundaries in places where there needs to be boundaries, and breaking down boundaries in places where they need to be removed, you know, so that you can attract much more of what it is that you deserve, or that you've been working so hard to attract for so long, you know. So we got the Knight of Wands right here, okay? So definitely some beautiful, passionate movement forward coming toward you, though. The more you, just by you being focused on releasing these big blocks, you know. Beautiful, kind-ass energy. Like, I really love this. I like this reading, okay? We got the Six of Swords, and we got the Two of Hearts, or the Two of Cups, okay? So definitely you moving into this calmer water where you're a lot more abundant, where you really feel the caring energy, right? Where you really feel like things are rolling in smoothly. You could be feeling a much more confident, having, you know, feeling much better about your days that you're going through, because you are the leader of your metamorphosis at this time, you know. Like, that peace, that's right, that's the fucking sweet spot, okay? Where you're just like so peaceful within, but also you're so busy, right? You're ambitious, you're ready to go after what it is that you want and what you need to do, but you're not forgetting to take that time to tap in with the divine, to ask them about everything that's going on, you know, to make clear to you who's outside of you playing the victim and acting like they need your money in order for them to do something in life when you did shit without no money. You know? So, like, just keep going, okay? You're doing so good. What's the Six of Pentacles and the Joker in reverse? We got the King of Swords, okay? So I feel like the way that you think about yourself has improved tremendously, okay? And you're really upholding your truth, really expressing who you really truly are, yeah. And that's why you're making such quick movement forward toward this Eight of Pentacles energy that came out in the overall energy. It's beautiful, okay? What is the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Four of Swords? We got cozy up with risk, okay? So don't be afraid to take risks at this time. That's what they were saying with this leap of faith in reverse, you know. I feel like there is some big leap you're about to take that's going to lead to this big jump in your finances. Maybe something you've been like hesitating about doing, or something you've been like, you know, attending to the details of over and over again, but not really releasing it or just letting it go because, you know, you're kind of still trying to make sure that it's perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Y'all be seeing me doing silly shit all the time, okay? Y'all didn't see me crying and doing all kinds of stuff I didn't plan to do on camera. And when I look back at it, you know, it's just like, it looks golden to me. It looks perfect. It looks like it came out exactly how it should come out, you know. And I feel like there's a need for you to like look at your art or however you express yourself in that way too, because other people don't see all of the imperfections of the thing that you're creating. They just see the beauty of what it is that you have to offer, and then like the way that you put it out the way you're meant to, you know. What's the Four of Swords, the Six of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Queen of Wands? We got integrate your knowing, okay? So I feel like there's definitely a boost coming to your knowing, to your gut energies, to your solar plexus. More confidence coming in with that, okay? There's a need for you to really overrate your intuition at this time. Like, you really do be knowing, okay? You're so much more intuitive than I think you give yourself credit for, okay? Especially when it comes to matters of business and things like that. Like, you're so spot on. And people really like that about you. You could find that, and that's why I said that work alone energy. You could find that like a lot of people want to partner with you. They want to pull you out of that comfort zone that they see from the outside looking in that you might be in, you know. And of course, they know they're going to benefit from having like a team with you, you know. But I think that it's really smart the way that you're being very picky and choosy about who you want to go into business with. Like, don't change that. That's really good for you. What's the Six of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the Joker in reverse? We got balance, in balance, okay? So just know that you are in balance. Like, Spirit loves the way that your mind is balanced with your heart at this time. And that's why Hermes is asking you to focus more on attracting what it is that you want, you know. Like, you're ready. And you've been taking a lot of steps to get what it is that you've been wanting, you know. Like, Spirit was just waiting for you to come to this place where your vibration matched the like, to where your magnetism matched the level of things you were trying to attract. And now you got big pool, you know. What's cozy up with risk and integrate your knowing? We got change maker, make waves, okay? So it's time for you to get out here and make some big waves that I don't think that you even expected yourself to be able to make. Let's integrate your knowing and overrate your intuition. Yeah, we got the edge of evolution feels messy, you know. And that could be like, you know, why all of the forgiveness and them telling you to like face and focus on certain things that are going on within your shadows. Because I feel like, you know, definitely when you're trying to do your divine I said counterpart, okay? When you're so I guess definitely when you're trying to do your divine purpose, and even when you're getting into a new connection with a divine counterpart, you know, there are a lot of things that kind of happen that go down, you know, misunderstandings of energy and things like that. And it's important for you to be able to forgive those kinds of things so that you can move forward, you know. Like, nothing happens for you to hold on to it, okay? And that gets in the way of how magnetizing you are. So just be very aware of that. And then we got the now, okay? So Hermes is asking you to like really try to stay in the moment when it's time to be in the moment, you know. Like, really find that perfect, beautiful, delicate balance, you know, in this dance between you and Spirit. And you will notice that it will be a lot easier for you to attract the things that you want to attract. And don't be afraid to bravely market your magic, because like I said, when it comes to this earth energy, you could be an earth trine on your birth chart, okay? You could have a lot of earth in your chart. because you are an earth creator. Like, this is what he's basically calling you, you know, a creator of earth. A master manifester, tapped into those creative energies where you really truly can attract whatever it is that you want. But it's all about you taking the right steps and remaining aware that divine time is always at play, and it's not always something that you're doing wrong, or it's not always a call for you to, like, you know, lose yourself in more of the details. Just do it and give it how you did it, and know that it's good enough, it's beautiful, you know. And I was telling my son the other day, you know, that I don't like my paintings. I don't like my paintings. When I get done with them, most of them, I'd be like, I don't know, and then I hang it up, you know. And then those be the very ones where people come in and be like, oh, this one is dope. You know, I really like this one. They're always like sitting here, you know, talking about like which ones are their favorites, you know. It's like my paintings, some of them have to grow on me after I do them. Like, I have to look at them for a while, and then I'd be like, okay. And then I start like seeing different things in them, or like just really appreciating the art that came out of me. You know what I mean? Objectively, because after I do it, I'm still very attached to it because I did it, you know what I mean? Like, and so I have to get to that place where I just release the art and I accept it for what it is, and then I start to like it a little bit more. But some things I do them and I'm just like, oh, this shit is gorgeous, like, it's perfect, I love it. Like this tornado, this shit happened totally on accident. Like, it happened so organically, and I was like, I'm done, like, I need to stop touching it. You know, because I'm just gonna mess it up. Like, if I would have kept just playing with it, I would have totally ruined this whole beautiful, like, tornado effect that it has going on, that I did purely by accident. You know, it came out how it was supposed to come out, and I just stopped right there where it was, you know. And I'm very happy with it, and I feel like that's kind of the same advice when it comes to you. Like, just don't feel like you have to micromanage it, or just keep tweaking it, because sometimes you're tweaking it and you're tweaking it and you're tweaking it, and you're worried about it, and you end up messing it up because you couldn't, like, when it came out good enough and you were satisfied, you just couldn't, like, well, you couldn't, like, leave well enough alone, is kind of what he's saying, you know. So market your magic the way that it is. Don't feel like you have to tweak it or change it or get it to be more like anybody else's in order for people to accept it. People are going to appreciate, like, the rareness of what it is that you have to offer, or what it is that you share with the world, you know, just the way that it is. I heard, like, guaranteed, okay? It's guaranteed. There are, like, always millions of people, you know, at one time or another, that are on that same page that you're on, or that match that vibration that you're on, who are going to appreciate what it is that you're putting out. Excuse me, that's confirmation. There's an audience for everyone. What's cozy up with wrists? Changemaker, make waves and integrate your knowing. We got 747. It says, embrace truth always. Eliminate lies to lead to a more vibrant spiritual life, you know. So just, like, don't be, like, telling yourself, you know, untruths about you. You're amazing, and it's okay for you to cozy up with risks, and not, like, be like, oh man, see, before the risk even plays out, you're like, oh, that was stupid, I shouldn't have did this, I should have did that, because it's taking too long, I'm not seeing the results I want. Like, just chill, okay? You never do nothing wrong. Your intuition is amazing, okay? And you're being guided, being led by your higher self, by your guides, by such big energies that only want the best for you. What's integrate your knowing? The edge of evolution feels messy, and overrate your intuition. We got truly forgive and truly forget. Push yourself to the next level, okay? That's 353. You could be seeing any of these numbers, okay? They could be significant. No, stop crying, Biggs. They went in the room and they locked him out. We got 777, okay? Which is talking about highly spiritual. It's a highly spiritual number. It signifies divine guidance, blessings, and miracles manifested by you. Come on, that's great confirmation. What's 747 and 353? We got 707, great to self and others, no selfish motive, acknowledge your own positive actions, you know, and that's what I was saying. Like, and this is going right on top of integrating your knowing. Like, I feel like you need to integrate what you know about yourself to be true. You need to, like, integrate what you naturally know about your soul, and what makes it beautiful, and what makes you beautiful. Just let him in, Cicely. don't understand why they locked them out. Like, they ain't want to go in there too. What's 353 and 777? We got 303, okay, which was at the bottom of the deck earlier when I was saying peace. You're talking about your peace and your serenity, okay? So it represents peace and serenity and making peace with the past, you know? I feel like that's like a really big thing here that he brought up multiple times in this reading. So, like I said, like do some shadow work, really look within yourself and empty out everything. Just clear this shit out. You know, you don't need it. Anything that you're dwelling on or that still has the ability to hurt your feelings or take you to a sad place or anything like that, you don't need that, okay? And I'm not trying to rush you to heal or anything like that. I feel like you're allowed to take as much time as you want, and it takes much longer to heal than, you know, the time that we give ourselves to heal sometimes. But I think you're a lot more ready to release certain things than you think you are, and you'll see amazing results once you do. Yeah, we got 202, which is talking about building harmony with loved ones and always staying optimistic, okay? So optimism, gratitude, and, you know, kind of spending a little bit more time with the people in your life that you do have, that you love, you know, spending time around people you want to be around and just spending some time in that moment, I think would be very good for you. Because I feel like you're always just like, you know, run, 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 run. That's so funny. I was singing this earlier. Run, 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 run. Run, run, run. It's easier to run, 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 run. We run, we run. We gotta run sometime. What does that song say? Do, do, do. I can't get the words though, but that's the point. The point is just you be running and running and running and running, okay? And it's okay to just like sit down, be calm, take some time to yourself, and just like release. You know, I heard detox, like there's a little bit of detoxing, a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of like dedicated like time that you need to dedicate some specific self-love to yourself at this time to help you in this transition to bigger and better, okay? What's 707, 747, and 353? We got scars, okay? Like, baby, your scars, they are the most beautiful thing about you. They are a direct result of this very crazy path that you've chosen to walk, you know. Your scars are like trophies at this point, you know. Your scars are to be worn as this beautiful armor, this, hey, look at everything I've been through and everything that God pulled me out of to get me to this place where I present like this, you know. Look at all the wisdom that I gained from every single situation that I got a scar from. And when you look at it like that, I think it makes it a lot easier for you to forgive and just forget and move forward, you know? Because you're seeing the results of everything that you've been doing so far. What scars and wisdom? We got hope, okay? So keep that hope alive, baby. Let your hope fuel you and let, you know, this beautiful, happy future that you've been focusing on manifesting come into you the way that it's meant to. Like, don't let, you know, this unwillingness to forgive certain things or this, you know, desire to like self-sabotage out of fear of your success or whatever hold you back from anything. Focus on being hopeful, on being optimistic, on being grateful, and on believing in yourself 100% the way that God and your guides believe in you. And you can accomplish any and everything that you want. Yeah. With this mirror, you are a beautiful and amazing magical mirror for the divine. And they are counting on you to present that bomb-ass, high, what did I say? High honor-ass energy in their honor, you know? Like you're the face of your ancestors' company. And they just want you to be the most beautiful representation of them ever, to totally and completely and unapologetically express yourself in this beautiful love that you carry, and know that as long as you're doing that, you could never be on the wrong path, okay? Yeah. But I think you need to wrap your thoughts around your ability to manifest, around your ability to magnetize things, to like remain very aware that you're trying to build you're trying to materialize and ground some very big things at this time, and your mind and the way that you think is extremely important to that. Whew. I love Hermes readings, okay? He always takes us straight to school. Every single time. All right, my love, what is the final thought on this? What do you want to leave them with? We got be a beacon. It says be an inspiration and light the way for others. You have this beautiful call on your life for you to inspire others through the scars and everything that you've been through. That's the things that people really relate to you on, your imperfections and all the things that you feel make you, unfit for certain jobs or unfit for certain places in society or whatever. Those are the things that are your beauty. All the things that you got when you was in the shadows on your way to this beautiful enlightened place where you sit now. People are going to always be able to relate to you and not always, but I mean the right people. They're always going to relate to you and your beauty and even your hardships that you've been through. And I think, like he's saying, if people can forgive you for all the mistakes you've made and all the things that you've been through, then you can forgive people for the bullshit that they do and the things that they go through, And that is much more powerful and taps you into that oneness, into that universal energy, and that also helps you to be more magnetizing of the things that you want to create and attract. Yeah, awakening this magical crystal cave within yourself by just simply standing in your power, bathing in the purity of your own power. With that, you should definitely try that that meditation I was talking about earlier, pulling that power up and letting it spray out of the top of your head like a fountain and going back around. Like, that's another really good meditation that's kind of like just sitting in the power. It says be passionate about your vision and bring about positive change, and switch on your inner light and bring forward more of your gifts, okay? So, please, this mic is making my shirt. Look at my shirt gather up. See? Thank you. I just finally let him in. Made enough noise. So, it says, this is the card of the way shower. For you are a beacon, a light who illuminates the path for others and gives them hope. As a spiritual flame, you hold within your energy fields the keys and codes of the knowledge, information, and wisdom that you have earned on your soul journey. Without you being consciously aware of it, your aura reaches out and awakens gifts, qualities, and hidden possibilities in those around you. When your unicorn illuminates your aura, your light sparkles, and your presence alone can lift people energetically and make them feel better. You will find many are drawn to you. You don't have to do anything, just be yourself, for you are already helping many to wake up spiritually. This is an important task, and your guidance is to shine your light more strongly. To do so, make sure you are properly grounded, be positive, smile, and be happy. Ask Archangel Gabriel to pour shimmering diamond light into you and your unicorn to fill your aura with Christ's light. Then radiate this divine light. When you do so, the heavens can see you, and not only will unicorns and angels bestow grace upon you, but many great masters and illuminated guides will approach you in order to help you or work with you, okay? You have energy. I didn't mean to say that. You have every reason to be delighted with your spiritual progress, but I feel like you have this energy that makes other people feel naturally delighted and naturally uplifted around you, you know? And you need to just go ahead and share it, okay? Don't be being stingy. So the affirmation says, I am a beacon of light. And I love that. I feel like I'm going to leave that right there. I hope you guys have a happy, fabulous, wonderful, and amazing day, that you got something that you needed out of this. And I will see you later, my love. Bye.